All right, Yuki fam, the 2025 fall preview is here, and it is time to give you guys a preview of the new season. There's some changes this season, so get ready for that. Along with Mario stuff, Maple Story returning, and Yuki the Hedgehog. Yuki the Hedgehog, sorry about that. If my voice sounds a little bit weird, it's because I've been sick for the last few days. So, here is the new homepage for our website, yukiproductions.com. So here is the projected games as always. Mario Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Live tutorials on Tuesdays and maybe Thursdays. The return of Maple Story and Escape from Tarkov PvE, along with a new game called Surrounded, and the return of potential Pokemon ROM hacks. For the fall 2025 season, our platforms are going to be YouTube and Twitch. And maybe Kick may be returning, and Facebook. I'll explain the Facebook side in a moment. Up until now, we have been doing preseason stuff, but now we are back into it. Preseason begins tonight at 9:45 with Fortnite Blitz Royale. Then tomorrow, we have the Mario Draft. On Sunday, we have Survival Sunday Trials featuring the two games, Tarkov PvE and Surrounded. Our potential schedule for fall 2025 is as follows. Monday Night Marple, it consists of two games. Our selected Mario ROM hack on YouTube at Twitch at 5:30, followed by at 9:45 YouTube only Maple Story, hence the name Marple. Tuesdays, we have our live tutorials on Tuesdays on YouTube at 5:30. Wednesdays, we have our selected ROM hack at 5:30, YouTube and Twitch. Thursdays, we have our rotational games, which I'll explain in a moment. 5:30 on YouTube. Fridays is going to be our Fortnite Blitz Royale night. Saturdays are Mario Builder 64 level showcase at 9:45 on Twitch and YouTube. And our Survival Sundays games are going to be a Tarkov and Surrounded. I'll be explaining Surrounded in a moment because that might be a rotational game. Speaking of rotational games, here are the rotational games based on setup time. VR chat is going to be one time per month, except there's a twist this year. There's a twist this season, which I'll explain in a moment. A live tutorial could be on a Thursday, and Tarkov PvE, which could set up for Sunday streams, which I'll explain in a moment with Tarkov. Let me talk about this VR chat one time per month thing. It is going to be one time per month on YouTube and Facebook, except we're going to start on Facebook first for the first 2 months because I'm going to be trying out VR chat. That is why there is a trial run for that going on. And it starts within the next few weeks. So there will be VR chat, but we will start on Facebook rather than YouTube because I'm trying out, streaming VR stuff. It will be my first VR chat, and live streaming in VR. So that's why there's a trial run. In November and December for the next half of the season, we will be on YouTube, unless otherwise stated. Live tutorial, we will be rotating our live tutorial on Thursdays. Um, and that will be a continuation from whatever we did on Tuesday. Our live tutorial featured for our first week will be the platform project, which I'll explain in a moment later on. And Tarkov PvE is going to be potentially on Thursdays as well to set up Sunday. So Tarkov PvE and SPT are different because SPT you cannot live stream. At PvE you can because that is official. Let's talk about our new and returning stuff this season. Our new thing is Survival Sundays. We're gonna have Surrounded and Tarkov. Surrounded is actually spelled correctly in this case because it deals with zombies. Um, Monday Night Marple is basically a combination of Mario and Maple Story, hence the name Marple. So we're gonna have Mario first and Maple Story at night. We are going to start with the Lin class, which was recently released. Including this season, we have a new stream interactivity with Streamer Bot, which allows us to use more advanced Yuki Coin usage when it comes to Streamer Bot. You'll get more information about this very soon. We also have our new thing called Fort Wall, which is our new merch service. So Fort Wall also allows you to watch videos on YouTube like you would normally do, and you will also be able to do memberships, which I'm gonna go over into a moment. I'm gonna go over Fort Wall in just a moment. Trial runs this season. We are doing VR chat VR streams on Facebook and YouTube, but remember we are starting at Facebook first, and then in the second half of the season for November and December, we will be on YouTube. Keep in mind this is brand new territory, and you gotta remember I had to have time for it. We will be on YouTube in 2026, and I may expand this to other characters. By other characters, I am referring to Shady, Sonic, all that stuff, Mario. Keep in mind that Yuki the Hedgehog is our quote unquote mascot character this year. And then in 2026. New data to track is retention percentage. I am taking a very serious look at retention this year and next year. So what is retention percentage? It's basically a stat where I want to see what you guys are watching, but I'm also seeing how much I retain throughout the video. So I'm very picky on what I play this season. So for our average, 7 to 15% is average. So we're good there, and the recommended is around 30. We're also testing out YouTube short streams this year, this season with Fortnite, and other games may be coming as well. So that's our little small preview of the page for this season. I will tell you there will be new rules and policies coming up, and I do want to explain the thing about the percentage of retention. So during notification period, as you guys can see, I released some videos, and I want to say thank you to everybody who's been watching those. Data is over for this period because we already done. But as you guys can see, the percentage on the right side is how much audience I retain throughout the video. The highest we have is Mario at 12%, even. The second highest is Yuki the Hedgehog at 11.3, and the third highest is the Tarkov. Oh, it's actually not Tarkov. It's the this one from Mario World 2. So there was a mistake. That is a 9.9 right here. I did not see that. That is a 6.1. So so that's my bad. But this measures how much of you guys are watching versus how many views. So views are nice, but it's the retention percentage I'm looking at this season. You may have noticed that there is an A on some of these. That is because there was not enough views for that particular video to warrant a retention percentage. So do keep in mind there are NAs. And it just so happens that the NAs happen to be on Francis the Hedgehog rather than Yuki. Cool. Okay. Now, let's talk about now the fort wall. Now, I know in roleplay you're not supposed to break the fort wall, but welcome to the fort wall. So what is Fort Wall? So Fort Wall is a service that allows you to do merch and memberships. So you might be wondering what's going on here. So on YouTube, you are allowed to do memberships. Memberships allow you to do early access. Here's the catch. Here's the catch on memberships on YouTube. You cannot do discounts. You cannot do freebies. Nothing like that. On Fort Wall, You can. In fact, I'm going to present how Fort Wall looks like. Believe it or not, Fort Wall is actually a website builder along with merch. Here's how this works. So as you guys can see, I have the fall 2025 preseason schedule, which starts tonight at 9:45. And then here is the projected weekly schedule, like I just presented earlier on the website. Here's the merch, though. Here are the merch. Now, keep in mind, if you are from, let's say, the Philippines, that is going to be recorded in PHP, the Filipino peso. Here in the US, it's dollar, and so on and so forth. So do keep in mind that the price here is $20, but that's because it is USD. Okay? Now, you may have noticed that the merch is all Yuki the Hedgehog. It is possible that I might be doing something with Yuki the Hedgehog this season or next year, most likely. I'm going to be talking about more of that when we get to content. Now, here is the latest on YouTube. Now, here is where you get to watch the YouTube stuff that I just released. Now, keep in mind some of these are live streams and cannot be viewed at this time, just because they're live streams and they are not like automatic. These are lives. These are TikToks. I will be coming back to TikTok, but not as a live streamer. I am going to be doing it as a YouTube, as a content creator. Now, here is where it gets a little bit more interesting. You get to be a member on the site without going to YouTube. So, what is the benefit of doing this on Fort Wall than on YouTube? Well, if you're not aware, the way YouTube works is if we go to my YouTube studio and we let's say for example you want to be a member, I control the prices on YouTube. However, I am not allowed to give you a discount. So as you guys can see, Yuki Mushrooms is $1 per month, right? Here's the deal on Fort Wall. On Fort Wall, it is also $1 per month. However, thanks to Twitch, because we are going to be on Twitch this season, as part of our Mario streams on Retro Yuki, if you are a Twitch subscriber and you want to be a member of the Yuki Mushrooms on Fort Wall, you get a discount of 90 cents. Up to 90 cents. Not only do you get 90 cents for being a member here on the site, but you also get early access, that's like normal. But you also get bonus 10% off merch. And I'm going to be able to give you a bonus vote on polling. In addition to that, you can do donations and join the newsletter. And you do not have to leave the site to do this. And there's a 7-day free trial just for you. And not only that, I can also run promotions for shops. So if I decide to drop something for Yuki the Hedgehog or something else, there you go. Keep in mind that this is not Yuki the Hedgehog exclusive. It just so happens that Yuki the Hedgehog is our thing for this particular drop. My next drop is gonna be something based on what I'm streaming. Okay. Okay. Now, what's next? Now let's talk about the content. So content wise, this season on the main channel, we're gonna be focusing on the tutorials as well as the SPT. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little disclaimer on SPT versus PvE, and here's how it's going to work. SPT is going to be mods and all that. However, there has been confirmation that the mods are coming to Tarkov on Steam, thanks to Nakita. So when that happens, mods are going to be on PvE. But keep in mind that from now on, we're not going to be doing the whole factory tree raids and reserve tree raids. That was just to give you a taste of what SPT looks like in Tarkov. This season, for our streams and PvE and SPT, we are going to be doing questing. So we are going to jump from location to location. And keep in mind that in PvE, we are going to have items because it is the standard edition. In in SPT, we're going to have zero to hero. So the SPT is going to be harder because we're going to be doing zero to hero. Our first tutorial series is going to be based on our live tutorials. Is going to be the platformer project, which allows you to make your own Mario styled games along with Sonic style games. Which, if I can give you a sample, so platformer project is like this. So this allows you to make your own style Mario games as well as Sonic games, which you're gonna learn starting on Tuesday. We'll get into this on Tuesday, starting Tuesday. So that's our live tutorial. Content wise, on other channels, let's talk about Yuki the Hedgehog. Actually, before we do, I will be testing out live streams with shorts, YouTube Shorts live streams. We're gonna be testing it out this season, but with Fortnite. And then let's talk about Yuki the Hedgehog. Because Yuki the Hedgehog does not have content. Well, besides the intro. Content here will be even our reaction videos to CDPs, and all of them stuff, as well as other stuff. We are also bringing over the world tours in VR and other stuff. I cannot say anything else yet because I want to make sure I'm good to go. And remember, live streams for the first half of the season for VR chat are on Facebook only. The second half in November is going to be YouTube. Or once I get used to it. It is also possible, if I'm not ready yet, that VR chat on YouTube is going to be delayed to 2026. So do keep in mind 2026 is possible. Just keep that in mind for reference. Other channels. Let's talk about Yuki Mario World. Very similar, very simple. It's gonna be the same thing. Song and dance. Mario Builder 64 levels, Mario World ROM hacks, and Super Mario 64 ROM hacks, and any highlights that we have from our streams on YouTube and Twitch. Very simple. All right. Next channel, Yuki VR Productions. Very simple as well. Live streams of VR chat on YouTube. Don't ignore this one because I am going to start the whole debut process on Facebook. So there will be no streams until November for VR chat, but there will be VR gaming to start, and anything else here. President of World Tours will now become Yuki the Hedgehog. World Tours. I am going to be remastering some of these highlights because there's something I'm using. Mostly more remasters of the Wolfengers. Because there is something I'm using called Proto V3, which I'm going to take a full advantage of. And there's a brand new thing that just happened on DaVinci Resolve. On DaVinci Resolve 20.1.1, there's a new update that allows you to actually subscribe to DaVinci Resolve Studio for $30 per month. And I'm going to be trying it out for magic masking. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what I'm doing with it. All I have to say, it has something to do with VR chat. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to spoil too much because I need to test it out. But there will be remasters of something using Proto V3. I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is. We are all returning to Protectors of Kindness, however. Okay, so that is something that you need to look forward to. Next thing you need to look forward to is Tabletop Tales returns. But we're not gonna be doing gameplay. We're doing this around the tabletop. So we're gonna be doing look at tabletop games, RPG games, just like I used to do, but there will be more on tabletop. Very simple. Um Next channel to look at, that's usually it. We are going to transition to Yuki the Hedgehog though. So now let's talk about now what else you need to understand for the season. I'm not going to show you my Facebook page because it's personal information and I don't think you need to learn about that. But I will spill the beans on something new. I am I am working on something for Twitchy. Here's how it's going to work. So this is a Twitch channel. And I want to show you guys a system that I'm thinking of getting. So Twitch integrated throwing system is a system that allows you guys, the viewer, to interact with the stream. This is called the Twitch Integrated Throwing System, or TITS, allows you to throw stuff on the screen on Twitch. Using it can be used with or without VTuber Studio to let people throw items at my face. Okay, it is an OBS Studio overlay. So, for example, this is thrown at the stream, like banana and all that. Okay, so this is something that you might want to try. Okay, it is $15 with a bundle. It is a VTuber bundle, and there's a reason why I'm doing this. First off, number one, I am going to be using this for the Mario stuff. Number two, you can actually interact with me more. So do keep that in mind. And it's a streamer bot integrated. So it's a very good time to use streamer bot. So this is why I said streamer bot is gonna be the new thing. But do keep in mind it will take you a little bit before I add this. So don't throw things yet. Okay? But it is on the way. So you do expect me to have a VTuber model for Mario um as soon as next week. Monday, actually. And actually, technically speaking, I'm not sure if this is gonna be useful for YouTube, but it is Twitch now. So have fun. Have fun throwing stuff at me. I don't know. I don't care what you throw. Just have fun. Enjoy. Some of them would be big bits. I'm going to see what's going on with that. Okay? Now, that's the interactive stuff. Website stuff now. So I will tell you my domain name, yukiproductions.com, may be expiring soon. So I am thinking of potentially this is potential Fort Wall. I'm thinking about this as the website. I am not joking because it is simplified. It is extremely simplified. This might be the website here, guys. The only thing I would add is understanding Maple Story, understanding Tarkov. That's it. And any rules and regulations that I have. That's probably it. Now, I do want to draw your attention to Tarkov PvE at SPT. I will tell you guys now, we will start the season very soon. It is more of I am deciding on how I want to do PVE and how I want to do SPT, because SPT and PVE are the same except for mods. That's it. Modding is the only thing that is the difference, and it's a major difference because, but for one, you have a radar, and number two, the other one you don't. And Tarkov, as it is very difficult. So we may have both for season one, and it may be split. The catch is PVE is gonna have more raids because we're gonna be live on Sundays and potentially Thursdays for our rotational. So keep that in mind that it is possible for um, two streams of Tarkov per week, considering that it is possible that it is. Okay. Now, I want to talk about YouTube short streams for a bit here before I call it. So, we are going to be live on YouTube tonight for not Tarkov, Fortnite as part of our Fortnite news schedule. But we will not be vertical today. This is just a regular stream for preseason play. Next week, it is going to be a little bit different because if you can see my layout for Fortnite this particular season is this. That's my layout. Now, as you guys can see, there is a Twitch sub, but we will not be playing Fortnite on Twitch. I have to put that there just as a thing that I do. It is for me there. And as you can see, Yuki the Hedgehog is there. That's because next week we're gonna start using Yuki the Hedgehog. Okay, that's the Fortnite layout. I have a Mario layout. I don't want to show it yet. All right. Now, what happened to Dragon Quest Nine? Because everybody's been. I think you guys would be interested in this. That's gonna be a Yuki the Hedgehog game. Okay, but I don't want to start scheduling it yet because of Fortnite and Saturdays is now Mario night. Now, if Mario Builder does not work, it is possible to return to Dragon Quest Nine. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right. If there's anything else I'm going to be updating you guys, it will be on tomorrow. Other than that, that is your fall preview. Keep in mind, I want to remind you guys, VR chat is back. Except we're going to start on Facebook. And then in November, we're going to come back to YouTube as part of our transition to VR. VR gaming will be part of the thing, but we just start on Facebook first. Remember, baby steps first, folks. That's all for now. We will see you guys tonight for Fortnite. Tomorrow, the draft, and Sunday is our first look at Survival Sundays. Again, it is potentially possible that Surrounded becomes a rotational game and maybe on Thursday. So we'll see. All right. That's all for now. We'll see you guys soon. Enjoy. And as always, don't forget to do the Freddy and the Shohei.